Hello and welcome to Brand X Reviews. As you may remember in one of our previous reviews, I did actually say we were going to review Star Trek The Next Generation, the board game, the VHS board game. Now, as you may be well aware of, I have a co-reviewer called The Core, and he's fairly into his board games and stuff. Now, we've done a few board game reviews recently, such as Marvel Monopoly and also the 1980s classic Ghost Castle. Well, Core's been pestering me to do a review of his Star Trek Next Generation VHS board game, so here it is basically. Now, I'm not a massive fan of the Next Generation, though it is on my list of things to watch properly, having only casually followed this in the 1990s. In fact, I recently ordered Series 1 on DVD, so maybe it'll grow on me. But don't get me wrong, I do love Star Trek, the original series, and pretty much most of the films. In fact, I do have a review planned for these in the near future, so check back for that. Anyway, rewinding a bit if you pardon the pun. I recently rigged together my old videotape recorder so we could do this review. Basically, Star Trek, the game we're going to review, is a board game that requires little or no Star Trek knowledge, and it also integrates with footage played continuously on the TV. You'll pretty much see for yourself anyway.
Who is the lowest ranking crew member? Speak up. You are sounding frail. I will call you Puj, Klingon for weak. Because you lack strength, I'm immediately transporting you to sickbay. Ha!
So here we go, as promised. This is a review. Hope you enjoy.
Alright, we're here to talk about the Star Trek interactive video board game. I don't know, you may be aware of this. It was like a weird fad that came in like the early 90s. Basically, board games that included a VHS video that you would play along with the actual game, and basically it would create some kind of vague interactivity. It was like a weird kind of stopgap between board games and video games.
Yeah, I mean, I had an X-Files one. It wasn't anywhere near as good as this. This one actually uses its own footage. The X-Files one was literally just clips and they boring.
Yeah, but you say that, there were worse ones. Seriously, there was like golfing ones and stuff. And you just watch a golfing clip and then like answer some stupid trivia.
Yeah, this one was quite fun. You don't need any Star Trek knowledge, that's what's good, because...
Yeah, there's no trivia in this. You're just literally trying to save the Enterprise from a mad Klingon.
You could go into playing this having never played Star Trek.
Yeah, just having a vague idea of like sci-fi in general would do it. Basically, you randomly select a rank, starting at cadet, going up through the sheet.
There's a little shit outside the thing crying. So, we'll edit that.
Yeah, you see the child's crying, so we won't let it play the game with us. Like, oh no, this is too serious for the likes of you.
We might even leave that in, actually. Anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah, you randomly pick a rank and then turn moves from like highest to lowest. And basically every so often the mad Klingon Kavok comes on the tape. Basically to give you orders like experience Beige, where you take one of these cards.
Oh, experience Minge.
It's not Minge, it's Beige. B-I-J, you freak.
It sounded like Minge when he said it on the video.
Does not.
Experience
No,
Minge.
right, you're going to show that clip and you're going to show that it doesn't sound like Minge. You're just insane.
Experience Beige.
Doesn't stop me from like repeating it though.
Yeah, basically you have your little playing pieces with like the rank on, and
these aren't characters in the series, just like random.
no, basically a random gold shirt, which, although like pop culture says red shirts, basically from beyond the first, the original series, it was always the gold shirts who died.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the original series. I don't really know too much about this. That's why I was a bit reluctant to play this game, because I thought, like, you might need some knowledge, but you don't. You could go to this never having
knowledge. Basically, you move around the Enterprise, you go into rooms, you get these isolinear chips to plug into your tricorder, which...
a look at what these are.
Gives you access to the ship, so you can eventually take out the Klingon.
It's called isolinear chips.
Yeah, there's something from the series, but again, you wouldn't need to know that. It's just a thing you pick up to do stuff.
Yeah.
The instructions are pretty easy. You can sum up in, like, what, 10 minutes?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, you've got the instructions there on like a side thing.
Yeah, basically, mostly you go around, you try and land on computer access places and you take a card. Usually it says go into a room and get a chip, or you can play this card to stop Kavok, like, doing something to you, like putting in a stasis tube where he does that. Which is annoying because it sticks you there until, like, the stasis fields are released. Which means you can lose quite a few turns if you're unlucky.
So, I've noticed on this it says on the box episode 1, because it kind of plays that. We'll put the tape in and we'll show you some of the footage from this. So you can view the actual, the whole thing on YouTube anyway, which is quite handy, because not a lot of people, like me, have a VCR anymore.
Yeah, I certainly couldn't play this anymore because I no longer have a VCR.
But if we get this on the actual TV, we can kind of see some of how it starts.
Yeah, it starts off pretty much like an episode. You have the opening credits, you have the title, you have Jonathan Frakes, Commander Riker doing a bit of a voiceover.
Jonathan Frakes, not Frakes. Non-name remembering.
Yes. Oh, you misheard me, bitch. Jonathan Frakes, Commander Riker doing a bit of a voiceover.
Jonathan Frakes, not Frakes. Non-name remembering.
Yes. Oh, you misheard me, bitch.
But no, that's not what you said. You said
Jonathan Frakes.
you're incapable of that level of incompetence, Mr. LaForge.
But yeah, it's not really till you go back to like old VCRs you actually remember how terrible the quality was. Yeah. I mean, this is like a fairly big TV, but...
I mean, you watch DVDs next to Blu-rays, and I'm sorry, I don't see the difference.
No, I don't really.
You watch a video cassette right next to a tape, and you're like, yeah, I see the difference.
Terrible quality. Ooh,
But yeah, I got this back in, well, when it would have came out, like 93, 94.
94, I think, yeah, is when it came out.
And I can remember playing this a few times with my brother, who was also like a big Star Trek nerd. Technically, we did need
yeah,
3 people to play this, so Ted, like, joined us. No, no beers. No, he's obsessed. Shut up.
So, Frakes, not Thrakes.
I said Frakes, bitch. You're, like, obsessed.
So,
Yeah, it's probably that after like they finished filming the series, or in between 2 of the series, they just basically got the sets to do this.
Although I'm not on board the ship.
Yeah, because it was 94 when this came out, so it was pretty much when the series came to an end and Generations film came out. Although if this was 94, wouldn't Gowron, the actor and everything, have been... Because this guy's played by the guy who played Gowron, but it's not actually Gowron, is it?
Yeah, basically another Klingon in the series, well known for having like mad, starey eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, because they must have done this after.
He must have just been somebody who was hanging around who was like, had Klingon makeup handy. It's like,
yeah.
Dude, you can do it.
True. Right, so you just basically have the game running in the background. It starts off about an hour in, we've kind of fast forwarded it on. But he'll jump in and he'll kind of tell you, like, to do stuff. So.
Yeah, basically, you get your computer access cards, which let you do stuff. You get your BIJ, B-I-J
Experience Minge.
Basically, they're usually something bad, like lose a turn or something. However, if there's a low-level computer malfunction because the Enterprise is in for repairs when it gets hijacked, then something good happens instead. You also get holodeck cards, which are basically like representations of the actual crew. You can talk to, like, Picard or, Beverly or whoever.
I'd like to talk to Deanna Troy, if that's possible.
I actually found Gates Fadden hot when I was young.
No, she wouldn't need to be psychic to know what I was thinking if I met her.
Yes.
Anyway,
But yeah, they'll basically like give you small bonuses and that kind of thing.
She give me a small boner.
No! Basically, it's a fun game. You go around, you unlock the levels of the computer, you get your phaser.
Oh, these instructors again. Experience Minge!
He does it. Bee! She's clearly a bee in there. Yeah, basically there's like a weird, like, popular thing around the early 90s. It started off with a board game called Atmosphere, which you were supposed to play in the dark, and basically every so often on the video this guy would come in and like, you try and like scare you kind of thing. I never had that one, I always had this one.
He kind of does that on this every now and again.
Yeah, every now and then he pops in and he gives you like nicknames like Gah. It's like, which ironic enough was me. And Gah and Poosh.
Sounds like he's clearing his throat half the time.
Well, that's Klingon language for you, basically. That is Klingon. Yeah, basically, eventually you reach the bridge and you have to take an access card. Sometimes it'll say denied. Other times you stun him and you win, basically.
Yeah, so what does it look like when you... So yeah, you got that and that ended the game pretty much.
Yeah.
You just turn the tape off and you've won. You've kind of defeated him before he can get to
Kronos.
So, yeah, we've got a few hand phases here for effect. These don't come with the game, these are just something... Lift!
What? Me? Shit. Yes. I said yes, you bastard.
Experience binge way!
No!
So you got a low level thing, right?
Yeah, a little malfunction. So rather than having something bad happen to me, something good would have happened instead.
So in that case, it's the bottom part, not the top part that you read.
Yeah.
Um,
You also occasionally have to take the test of the Klingon sword,
oh yeah,
which is a spinner.
Yeah.
I don't know why they call it the Klingon sword, because that's clearly a dagger and it's not a back left.
So it's either computer access or you get to experience binge.
No!
So what else about this anyway?
I don't really have much more to say. It's basically a very simple game. You can learn it in like a couple of minutes. I mean, we went through it in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, fairly
And
straightforward.
the game is basically under an hour, because if you don't win, you die. Simple as that.
It kind of fast forwards at some parts, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, you go through like a time warp and he's like, haha, you got less time than you thought. Human scum kind of thing.
Exactly. So yeah, the reason why we have Ted in the background is he's kind of fallen out. He's kind of inebriated because you know what he's like. But yeah, you have to play with 3 people, and the kind of people that play this kind of game don't really have a lot of friends. So we didn't have a 3rd friend to play it with today, unfortunately.
Yeah, technically you can get by with just 2. It's just basically he refers to 3 players by name.
Why does he always say lift when it comes on?
He says Mev. It's a Klingon word.
It sounds like he's going lift.
Yeah, that's the time
Yeah, the
warp.
time warp when it goes, so you can't lose time. It's not even really an hour, is it? Fast forwards a bit. It's good how they use the original set though. It was a lot more imaginative than the X-Files one that I played. Like I said, I just had clips from the series and stupid questions. But that's pretty much it anyway. You've had this pretty much since it came out.
Yeah, this is. I didn't rebuy this off Amazon or anything. This is what I've had since it was released, basically.
We have looked it up on Amazon just to see how much it's worth.
Yeah, well, just 15 quid just from a casual glance, because that was the first thing that came up when we Googled it.
Yeah, but it's pretty good if you've still got a VCR, as I do.
Yeah, certainly if you've still got one and you're a Star Trek fan, I'd go for it.
Yeah, well, like I say, you can get the video footage off YouTube, but obviously you need to have all this stuff as well. But it's quite handy.
Yeah, I think the problem with getting the video footage off YouTube is I think they have edited it down so it's just the bits where Kavok is talking to you.
Alright, so you don't have all
So
this
I don't
random...
think I don't think it has the like downtime between it.
Alright, fair enough.
Which would actually mess you up if you were trying to do it that way.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
well,
originally you had these little stickers you could put on with like a comm badge, and you have to
these into...
hit and you have to hit your comm badge to answer whenever the guy's like, "Yo, whoever is moving now, answer me."
Yeah, well, I imagine that'd be more for hardcore nerds. I mean, these would get like really messed up after a while, wouldn't they? You get to a point
Yeah, I
where-
think I did it the first time I like played it, but yeah, you can't re-stick them; they just get screwed up.
Yeah, anyway, so that's pretty much it. So unless you got anything else to add, I think we'll leave it there. Have we got any other board games we're thinking of doing?
Well, we do have a Terry Pratchett board game.
Oh yeah, I was one we got from...
Strange Games.
Oh yeah, it's a bit of a shout out. If any of our friends are watching this, we do actually have friends. Don't let the earlier comment fool you. If you go to Strange Games in Skipton, if you're a fan of board games, it's a pretty cool shop. They don't have this, but they've got some.
Yeah,
old
I think
ones.
this is a little old for them.
Yeah, so there's one that you bought from there, that Terry Pratchett one. We'll probably.
Yeah, basically Discworld Cherry Pratchett's one, which I'm looking forward to playing. It's quite interesting. It's probably the most complicated of the board games we're going to do because it's got a fairly long list of instructions.
And we'll have that up at brandxreviews.com as and when we do it. We've also got Doggy Doo as well, so we can
yes,
play.
we'll have to do that.
There he is.
See, he's mad. You've upset him.
Right, we'll leave it there then anyway. brandxreviews.com. Thank you very much for watching.